So when I walked in your classroom, I came in the middle of the lesson. Can you tell me about what your learning objective was and what you wanted your students to get out of the lesson?
So I had a problem up on the board where two boys were going to be doing a lemonade stand, and they wanted to make 50 cups. Only we used word glasses because it wasn't measurement cups. It was, like I told my classes, red Solo cup, and it was 12 ounce in each cup.
Right.
So they had to figure out how much fluid ounces of lemonade did they need. They had to determine which boy was a better option for making the lemonade needed to fill the 50 glasses.
Got you.
So it was the most complicated converting measurements problem they had seen.
So what I noticed was that you are a rock star teacher, Melissa. You were everywhere in the classroom. You were at you had four different groups going.
4 groups in that class, yeah.
Right, and you were moving back and forth with every group. But what I also noticed was that once you left, they stopped attacking the problem. And so your higher students were the ones who were still going, but the conversation stopped once you left.
And that's like my fear. So it's either, do I do a whole group thing the whole time?
Right.
Or do I let them work on their own?
So I have a solution.
Yes.
So you can model your discussion in a different way. For the students, for some of our students that we had last year, I know exactly, we both know exactly who's going to not participate when you turn your back. So one of the things you can do is have stopping points in your lesson to just share out. So each group can hear what each group is thinking. And one of the things you can do is for the students who you know weren't paying attention, simply say, hey, what did your group talk about? That way they don't have to be responsible for their thinking, but you're at least responsible for sharing what your group said.
And I do that a lot. This lesson, this question was so complicated that my brain was more focused on how do I get them to understand the content they need in this moment. Now for my second class, I did some of that because we did a stop and think, what are the questions we need? What are the this? And I did have one group in that second class who, there was one girl who was just like, I don't know. I'm like, okay, great. So I sat down and I was working with her, and her group kept trying to say, well, but it's not about you. It is about the collective.
Right.
So if she doesn't know, it's our job to get her there.
Right. So
that was more helpful with that. But you're right, even more stopping points would have been good.
How did that lesson end? What was did we get to who has more, or did it extend to the next day?
Most of the groups were able to tell me that they needed 600 fluid ounces.
Okay.
They got stuck on how do I then convert each one? And so some of the groups had worked through it.
Right.
And some of the groups were kind of stuck. And because it was, again, a PLC goal and isolation kind of lesson, it's not a big unit, I had them show me how to do them. The groups that did it, I almost did number talk style at the end where, okay, tell me how to do this. Okay, there's that one. Okay, tell me how to do this. There's that one. What do you know? So they're like, oh, it's 5 gallons because the other one's not enough. So the whole class was involved in that discussion.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, it was a whole group discussion at the end. And so it was really interesting to know that they weren't ready for that big of a complicated problem.
Yeah.
So I know now next time I do converting measurements, which is about a once a week thing for us, it's going to have to be a 1 or 2 step problem, not like this massive thing.
Right.
But I liked the idea of giving them this huge problem and then pulling back.
And I think it'd be good at the end of the unit to give it to them again. Maybe change the numbers to see how they can attack it. And then talk to them, say, remember what we did before, now remember how easy this is.
Right.
What did we learn from then and now? Let's talk about our strategies. That would be a good way to end that.
The other things with this is they so quickly think, well, I've got it, I'm confident, I know how to do it. But then they get and if I save the really hard problems to the end, they don't have time to do that deer in headlights of, I don't know how to do this, and now all of a sudden the unit's over. So I'd rather do something big and complicated sort of through the middle. Right. To give them that deer in headlights feeling like, okay, but we have time to work on it.
And just, if I can leave one thing, just, you're a rock star.
Oh, thanks.
And just have them step out of the spotlight a little bit and push them toward, even the ones that are reluctant, push them a little bit, because I think they have the knowledge and they can actually be more leaders, and you won't have to work as hard as you were working. But it's always a pleasure being in the classroom, and I learned a lot from you. So
Oh, thanks.
thank you.